Hello there, it's Samantha. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello. My name is Samantha. This is my channel where I post videos all about books, and sometimes I do other things too. Today I'm coming to you with a TBR video, and I haven't done one of these in such a long time because I don't really make TBRs. I'm kind of a mood reader. I just pick what I want to read basically. But I'm actually going to be taking part in 2 readathons in July, which is very exciting. I love readathons, but I never do them because, you know, like when I'm at school or whatever, I always feel so guilty for dedicating so much time to reading when I know I should be doing my university work instead. So because I'm on my summer break, I've decided that I want to take part in 2 readathons. I'm considering doing a 3rd one, but I just think that I'm going to be too stressed out at that point because that's like, it happens right before I move to Mexico. So I'm like, not sure about that one. I might also take part in the reading rush, but the 2 that I am taking part in are the Book Junkie trials and the final biannual Bibliothon. So I thought instead of doing 2 separate TBR videos, I would just combine them into one video. This will be going up like a couple days into July, so I will have already started my TBR for the Book Junkie trials. It's a little bit late for the Book Junkie trials and a little bit early for the biannual Bibliothon, but I thought this was a good way to just kill 2 birds with one stone. Also, I apologize if the lighting changes a lot. I'm using natural lighting and it's cloudy outside. Anyway, let's get into the books because that's what we're all here for. The first readathon I'm going to go through is the Book Junkie trials. If you don't know what the Book Junkie trials is, it is a month-long readathon, and I will link the hosts down below. And basically, you do a personality quiz, and it sorts you into one of the 4 like groups. And I was sorted into the mage group, or the magi, I guess is the plural. Anyway, I've seen a lot of people do TBRs for this, and a lot of people have been magi, so I don't know why, but there's just a hell of a lot of magi, or maybe I'm just not watching the right people who aren't magi. If you're taking part, let me know what group you belong to because I'd like to know. So basically there are 5 challenges for each like team, or you can try and do all of the challenges, and I did look into doing that. I do have books for every single one, so if that happens I'll definitely tell you, but I highly doubt it because it means like reading like, I think I have to read like 17 books in July to make that happen, and I've got a pretty crazy month, so I don't think that's gonna happen, but we'll see. So far I'm just gonna take part in the magi challenges. That is my plan. The first reading challenge was for Orc Grove. It was to read like a gritty or gruesome book, so for that one I've chosen to read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I've actually already finished this book, so yay! One less book on my very stressful TBR. I decided to start rereading the Throne of Glass series, and I'm actually going to be in the live show for the read-along that's being hosted by Cassie and Brittany, so I'm going to be in the Crown of Midnight live show on the 10th of July, I think. Something like that. I'll put details in the description. So yeah, I had to reread this so I could move on to Crown of Midnight, so you will be seeing that later on in the TBR. The next reading challenge is for Old Pirate Grove. That was to read a book that takes place at sea or is partially set at sea. So for that one, I've decided to go for To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This book is about a siren, so obviously it takes place at sea. It's a Little Mermaid retelling, so I think she becomes human at some point, but she doesn't want to be human. I think she likes being a siren, so she has to deliver the heart of the infamous siren killer or remain a human forever. So yes, anyway, I'm very excited to read this one. The next challenge is Glimmer, and that is to read a book that has a beautiful or very colorful cover. So I'm kind of like low-key cheating for this, but not really. And I've decided to go for Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I actually really like the cover of this. I really like red, and I also really love the back cover. I think it's clever how she's doing the same position, but in one side she looks like a badass assassin, and on the other side, I mean, she also looks like a badass assassin, but a badass assassin in a dress. So yeah, I really like the cover of this. I really like the color red, but I still really love this cover, so I'm counting that. And it's colorful. There's loads of red on it. Look at that. So red. So colorful. I'm counting it, okay? The next challenge is the Draconic Isle challenge, and that is to read a book that features dragons. I actually can't remember if we meet the dragons in this book or if we meet the dragons in a later book, but I've decided to read Air of Fire for that book because I want to continue on with my Throne of Glass reread, basically. And I'm pretty sure that we do encounter some wyverns, which are basically dragons, I think, in this book. If not, we encounter them in the next book, so maybe I'll just have to read the next book. I'm sure I'll be able to encounter some dragons somewhere. Probably. But yeah, I'm counting this because there are dragons in the series, and I just don't want to buy any more books right now. The final challenge is the Bookie Grail challenge, and that is to read the group book, which is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And I actually have a copy of this on my Kindle app, which I didn't know I had, but I do, so I'm probably gonna hopefully read this at some point. So for the Book Junkie trials, you also get strengths and weaknesses depending on what group you're in. So as a mage, my strength was that I was able to start the readathon 3 days early, so I've already started my reading for it. And my weakness is that I have to read a book outside of my comfort zone, and for that, To Kill a Kingdom definitely is a bit outside of my comfort zone because I don't normally love standalone fantasy. It's a bit outside of my comfort zone because that's not what I typically go for. I prefer a long luscious fantasy series. So those are the 5 books I'm planning on reading for the book Junkie trials. So hopefully I can complete all of those. I feel like because I already completed one of them, it might happen, but we'll see. And now on to the biannual Bibliothon. I cannot believe it's the last one. I've been taking part since the very first one, and I think I've taken part in all except for one of them. So I really want to go all out on this one, but I don't know if it's going to happen because, as I said, I'm really busy with work right now, and so far I haven't filmed any of the video challenges. So we're gonna see, but hopefully I can do it. I've got plans for all but 2 of the video challenges, so hopefully I can do it. I don't know, we'll see. I do have a TBR, it's tentative, so we'll see if any of this happens. I don't know. I could end up getting into a reading slump, but touch wood, let's hope not. Anyway, let's get into all the reading challenges. So the first book that I'm planning on reading for the readathon is, well, probably not in this order. The first challenge is to read the group book, and for that it is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I really haven't heard that much about this book, but I loved the Illuminate Files, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. I'm probably gonna listen to it on audiobook just because I'm trying not to buy any physical books, so yes, I will probably end up reading that on audiobook. But yeah, that's the first book that I'm gonna hopefully read. The next challenge is to read an adult book, and for this one I'm hopefully going to continue on with The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I started reading this like 2 years ago. I just picked it up again recently, but I'm only like 10% of the way through, so hopefully I can finish this book off during the readathon. But this book will also complete the next challenge, which is to read a book based on its cover, because it has an absolutely gorgeous cover. It is a sci-fi book. I'm not really sure what else happens in it, but yeah, it's a sci-fi book. It's an adult sci-fi book, and I'm enjoying it so far, but it's a little bit slow, so probably not the best one to read for a readathon, but we'll see. I did actually skip a challenge. There is the challenge to read a graphic novel, which I will not be doing because I don't own any graphic novels, and I'm not a member of a library at the moment, and there's not much point because I'm about to move to a completely different country, so there's no point in me joining a library. I don't have a graphic novel, and I don't really have any interest in buying a graphic novel. The next challenge is the free choice, and for that one I'm either going for Truth Witch by Susan Dennard or One Dark Throne by Kendara Blake. It depends on how I feel at the time, but I've been meaning to read Truth Witch forever, and so I thought, you know, it completes the challenge of free choice because it's a free choice, but it also will complete another challenge, which I'm going to talk about later. But also One Dark Throne completes that challenge, so if I'm not feeling Truth Witch or I'm not feeling One Dark Throne, you know, I'll read the other one. The next challenge is to read a book by an author you've never read from before, and for this one I could either read Truth Witch or I could read The Summoner by Taryn Matharu, who I've never read a book from before. I think this is his first book that he's ever written. Hopefully I can get to this or Truth Witch, one or the other, or maybe I can read Truth Witch as well. I don't really know. I'm not sure what I'm doing. It depends how busy I am during the week, to be honest. And the next challenge is to read a book that you were excited for but never picked up. Again, Truth Witch would complete this. For the Bibliothon, you're allowed to double up on challenges, but you're not allowed to triple up on challenges. So if I want to read Truth Witch instead of The Summer, then I need to read One Dark Throne instead of Truth Witch to complete those challenges, if it makes sense. Basically, everything will become clear during the readathon when I do my reading vlogs and my wrap up, but everything's kind of up in the air right now because I'm not sure what mood I'm going to be in. But I do think The Summoner is probably going to be a good choice to go for because it's a children's book, so I think it's going to be a quick read. But also I really want to read Truth Witch and I really want to read One Dark Throne, so I'm very all over the place right now, if you couldn't tell. The next challenge is to read a predicted 5-star read, and again, if everything works out, then Truth Witch will complete this challenge. If not, I also think One Dark Throne might be a 5-star read because I really enjoyed 3 Dark Crowns. Basically, as I said, everything will become clear during the readathon. And the final challenge is to read one of the host's 5-star reads. So I'm also undecided for this one. So I'm either going to read Every Heart a Doorway, which was Kelly's choice, Codename Verity, which is Kaz's choice, or I will reread Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which is Emma's choice, because I love this book and the 3rd book comes out later this year, so I could potentially reread this and then reread Thunderhead in preparation for the Toll to come out, which I can't wait for. So basically, I don't know, this video is a complete mess because I am so indecisive. Here is my very tentative and all over the place TBR for the book Junkie trials and the final biannual Bibliothon. Anyway, please let me know if you're taking part in either of these readathons down below. If you are, I would love to know what you're planning on reading, or if you're already taking part in the book Junkie trials, let me know how you're doing so far. I would love to know. Are you gonna try and complete all of the challenges? Because I definitely don't think I can, but we'll see. But yes, that is all I have for today's video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below, and I will hopefully have another video up for you very soon. So I will see you whenever that may be, but hopefully it's soon. But yes, okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye!